welcome to Kate's Kitchen. Today we're going to take a whole chicken and cut it up into parts that you can use in virtually any recipe anytime. I'm also going to show you how to take the remains and make wonderful chicken stock or chicken broth out of it. Something that's healthy and stretches the budget. So we have our whole chicken. It is thawed. I'm just going to turn it over and feel the chicken wing where the joint is, and take my very sharp knife and poke right into that joint and slide down and just take that. There's the chicken wing. Do the same thing for the other side. First, find that joint, poke into it with your knife, slide that away, and cut right down through. Again, very quick, very simple. So now with the leg and thigh, we're going to cut and pull that away from the rest of the body. Let the knife do all the work and just kind of pull as you go. And now you know that there's a joint back here as well, so you're going to pull that apart. In fact, if you get it just right, you don't even need your knife to go through that joint, but you can use the blade, push right down and through. There's your leg and thigh. To make the boneless, skinless breast, first we're going to start by cutting away some of the skin and let the skin peel back away from the meat. You don't want to cut the meat. You just want to pull that skin, and anything that's attached, you just give it a little small nudge with your knife. Pull it back so that you're not even close to getting your fingers. And just cut that right off. And we will be using this when I make my chicken broth. I'm going to use this skin and this fat in order to do that. The last thing we have is the breast. We're going to just start slicing that right as close to the bone as we can, keeping your fingers back. You're able to pull that chicken up. And as you pull it up, keep your fingers back, just slide along that bone. Get rid of the fat, peeling it back. You try to get as much of that as you can. Whatever you do leave on the bone, on the rib cage, don't worry too much about it, because we're going to use this in our chicken broth as a flavor and as a base. And you can always peel back that chicken meat after it's cooked in the broth and use that for sandwich meat, because look at this, there's still a lot of good meat on this carcass, including in the bottom here there's some good dark meat. So that'll make a good base for our chicken stock. And we have a breast. You flip it over, you just pull up on this piece that's loose. That's the chicken tender. You see those are sold separately. That's $3.99 a pound for that. And this chicken breast is $3.99 a pound. And I've seen it as high as $6.99 a pound. So we bought a whole chicken, 99 cents a pound, and now we've cut it up into all the different parts. So we've taken our chicken and cut it up. This I'm going to use for the chicken broth. In fact, here's some chicken broth that I have finished. And all I did was use that carcass of the chicken with the fat, some onion, celery, and carrots, and a couple of sprigs of rosemary and some sage that I got out of my herb garden. And I made some homemade, that's 2 quarts of chicken broth. That's $7 if you buy them in individual containers at the store. That's good low sodium chicken broth. The chicken wings, I'm going to put those in a Ziploc bag and throw them in my freezer for later. If you want, you can cut up another chicken and have some more chicken wings to put together. And the chicken thighs, you can cut those off and make the drumsticks separate from the thighs if you want. Use them for your oven fried chicken recipe. You can use them to just roast them and then peel the meat off. I'm going to put this in the freezer and save it for later, but there's 4 more portions of protein right there between the leg and thigh, and I've got 2 legs and thighs, and I will just use those for later. And then we also have these lovely chicken breasts that are boneless, skinless, with the tenders. And right here, we've got a little over a pound worth of meat. We've probably got about 1.5 pounds. That's 5 portions of protein. And we can use this in virtually anything. In fact, I'm going to use this tonight. I'm making Moroccan chicken with couscous and lentils, and it will make a wonderful one-plate food lover meal. So we've maximized our use of this chicken. When I was a kid growing up, my mom had 6 children, 6 hungry mouths to feed, and so going to the grocery store and getting a chicken, a whole chicken, was always less expensive than trying to buy the boneless, skinless breast. In this example, the boneless, skinless breast was $3.99 a pound. This whole chicken is 99 cents a pound. Big difference. So if you're like me, you don't want to spend an arm and a leg in order to eat healthy. So maximizing your budget, what we did was we took that $6 chicken, and if you were to take all of the separate parts and multiply them out by $3.99 a pound for the chicken breast and $2.59 a pound for the drumsticks, $3.49 for every quart of the chicken broth, we saved $13.57 just in the 5 minutes it took me to cut that chicken up. And it took me maybe 10 minutes to throw the chicken broth together and let it simmer on the stove for a couple of hours. So if you have a little bit of free time on a Saturday or a Sunday, you can get your chicken ready for any recipe that you want. Thank you for visiting Kate's Kitchen. I look forward to the next time.